Okay, everybody. This is Corpus Christi. I'm videotaping Corpus. This is where I'm going to be at videotaping. That's Lexington in the back. Let's see. This is recording. Okay. I'm going to attempt to make a couple of these videos. I got a stopwatch because I realize videos take up a lot of space on my WordPress site. Today is October 30th, 2014. I've been back in Texas. This is a good video for my North Bergen friend. I took a bunch of them when I was in New Jersey for my Texas friends, so this would be one. Hopefully we'll do a few more of these. I got the stopwatch because video takes up a lot of space and I don't want to go too long on this. I was debating what we're going to cover because on my WordPress site I got a lot of old radio tapes and some of them the quality is not good, and I want you guys to go to that site, listen to some of those old radio shows because they cover a lot of things. So in these videos I'm going to just cover a broad overview of things I think we should speak about, not just individual teaching, that there's a lot of that going around, but world things, and how does the church relate to events that are taking place in the world. That's what I want to cover. Let me do a quick background. When I got back from New Jersey, I felt God told me to take about a week off. It's about a week now. And to not jump right into what I was doing, which is street ministry and halfway house and everything like that. By the way, the halfway house that I do with a friend is right up the street. For many years I broadcast on a radio station, which is also right over here. So this has got a lot of heritage. As I was driving up here, I never prepared for these, but I thought I might tell the story, a little bit of how I got to Texas. When I came here in 1980 and joined the Navy, I left the Navy base. It's a little testimony. At that time, I was a medic, a corpsman, and medics had access to get drugs and stuff, and free. And I got a bottle of ephedrine. Now, ephedrine is methamphetamine. I'll tell this quick. And so I did some meth, not realizing it was meth. All the years I worked with guys on the streets that are meth addicts, I finally realized maybe that was the reason that happened. But I did come to this place where you're looking at, 1980. It's called UA, you leave the base. And I'll tell this. We were going to rob a car, me and a friend, and we were going to drive to Florida. This is how you think when you don't think. And so I walked right on this strip here and pretended we were going to pick somebody up that was gay and rob his car. And that was my first time in Corpus Christi. This is in 1980. Sure enough, at 2 in the morning, 37 years ago, a guy pulled up and said, yes, I get in the car, drove over this bridge. I'll take a picture when we leave. We went to a city which I did not know. It was New Year, over a bridge. I know now that city was Portland. We went into his house, and I told my friend, I'll beat him up and just get the keys, and that was the way we were going to do that. When I was in his house 35 years ago, he went to the back room, got us some beers, and I waited. I drank the beer real quick. I think it was German beer and water. And as I was waiting for him to come back, I saw on his wall, on this house here, a picture of Christ, a painting. And I immediately said, no, I'm not going to do that. I told him, never mind, go drop us off, and he dropped us off right here. And I did turn around when I got out and told him what we were going to do, cursed at him. He got scared and left. And not too long later is when I got kicked out of the Navy. Now, the Navy never knew about any of that. I got kicked out for going UA, basically, and some other things that I wrote about on the site. So that's a history. For many years, we started the church in Kingsville in 1987. Been on the radio for many years. But this week that I mentioned the date is transition time. We're going to change things. And I'm going to teach a little bit. I'm going to pick up on the teaching videos I did in New Jersey. That way you can pick up. But part of what I covered was the story of Abraham. And when God called Abraham, Genesis 12 and 15, he says, I want you to leave your country, leave your familiar surroundings, leave your family, and go to to a place that I will show you. And Hebrews 11 says, Abraham went out not knowing where he was going. That means life is a journey, so oftentimes God does not give you the details ahead of time. You just go by faith. And over the years, when I read that story, I kind of saw some of my journey in that story. That you go, wherever you're at, whatever season of life you're at, you make the best of that. And God will use you, God will bless you. And on that journey, it was an interesting story. I'm going to add some little details in these next few videos. But on that journey, it seemed like the promise was delayed. The promise to Abraham was, he went outside, look at the stars. God says, as many as you see, you'll have that many offspring, that many children. The sand by the seashore, you'll have that many. And Abraham believed God, and it was accounted unto him for righteousness, which is the key doctrine of the New Testament. When you believe in God's Son, you are now counted righteous. Somebody asked me the other day, what's the main difference between all the religions? One of the kids I talk to now at the coffee shop, these are college kids and all. But really, one of the main differences of all of the religions and Christianity is not a religion where you're working real hard to achieve something. We are called to carry the cross. We're going to talk about some of that. A lot of the popular teaching today in the United States and all, I think there's a lot that's wrong. So we want to deal with those issues on these few videos that I'm going to make. Christ gave us an example. I blogged today, and I'll still continue to post. But I think this season I'm done with the street ministry, which I've done for many years. This is where I think I'm at now. But the calling that God gives to us is one of sacrifice. And when you go through transition, one of the verses God gave me in Isaiah was, "Behold, I do a new thing. Now it will spring forth. Shall you know it? I will even make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert." It takes time. If God's going to do a new thing in your life or my life, you have to recognize that thing. When I was driving in, I'm going to end this in about a minute. When I was driving in from New York, I never made it in one straight shot into the Texas border. This time I did. I don't know, I pushed it. But I saw myself making a video right here. And I didn't want to do it because of various reasons, but then today I thought God said, go ahead and do that. So over these next small videos, 7-8 minutes, that's why I got a stopwatch today, I'm going to cover this. I'm going to cover life as a journey. You're calling in life. But what does God call us to as Christians? Is it just to get all the verses about the good blessings and the finances and all? Or is it a higher calling? He challenged in the New Testament not to live for these things. Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all of the other things will be added unto you. But he says you cannot serve God and mammon. Mammon is money. And we have in the American church a pursuit of self, a pursuit of good people, all good, preaching in a sense, but it misses the call that God gives to us. I'm going to end this video right now. I'm going to fill in some parts. The story of Abraham I dealt with when we were in New Jersey. So he was on a call. He was on a mission. And it was a matter of faith. And Abraham made a lot of mistakes on that journey. But in the end, God did bless him. He gave him that promised son, which is Jesus Christ. And in the New Testament, in Galatians and Romans, Paul says, all who believe in that son have freedom, free acceptance with God. Recovery from addiction, it's a gift. It's not something you work real hard at. As a matter of fact, if you work too hard at it, that's a bondage. Paul taught that in the letter of Romans. So I want this to be a benefit to everyone who sees it. I'm going to end this. You can look at my little, I was recording these out of my wallet when I was in Texas. Now I got a little stand. I didn't buy that stand. I basically had it at the house. This is Corpus Christi. That's the Lexington Museum. That's the American Bank Center. I saw Chicago in concert in Gordon Lightfoot. And maybe in the next video I'll take it in a little different spot. This is where I live. It's a very beautiful city. Okay? God bless.